What's that?
I feel like there's a ship
Oh, I see.
container
Yeah.
somewhere in there.
And then we really need to learn Storyboarder.
No, it's not. Come on. Yeah,
People like these big fat arrows. Zoom. Yeah, then horizon can disappear. The background can continue to change. And then we get the new set with whatever, I don't know what the background needs to be here. That keeps going, and we're just popping out overlays and then changing out the guts of the thing. But structurally, it's all fine. I mean, we have to build it to see what it feels like, but so whatever the case, that we're going to have like a set in the middle, maybe some set copy places, and then these sort of this stuff on the side can be popped in and out based on what we're trying to express. Like fade in, word balloon. Probably need to minimize the number of those things that we're actually pulling through. So then this transition, do we bring the horizon and ship back here? Zoom back out. So this one is, all right. The crew. All right, so ships are sentient exploration partners. I'm smart. Ships need a crew. We're a crew. Ships and crews go on expeditions. Yeah. Yeah, so this one, on your expedition, your crew plays games to capture all of your crew members' unique perspectives. All right, so background, horizon comes back in. Yeah, figure out transition between these two. Between ship ready to explore and then let's explore.
One idea, Dave, for the transition between these two frames, that's where you kind of are, is like zooming out and sort of seeing like a really like vast ocean, sort of like this question of where do you want to go next? Because that's kind of what these expeditions feel like. Like they're all going in different directions. Maybe a compass like thing.
Okay, so excuse me. So say that again. So we move out of the ship, or yeah, like out of the cabin, that scrolls out, and then
I don't know if maybe it's just like because it is infinite ocean, which isn't super interesting, but maybe there's like clouds and like storms in certain parts. I'm feeling like a little bit of a treasure map vibe.
yeah, it's like the choose your route on Google Maps or something. I don't know.
That's great.
That's too cute, but something like that.
The expedition ready start thing makes also me think of like how planes need to register their flight plan with like air traffic control. Just like here's where we're going, here's how many people we have. Don't know if that like is applicable here, but there's something about that like official. We're going on an expedition. Here's where we're like. Here's our details and our expected path. Kind of. It's interesting about it.
Yeah, it's
Could be a central repo for that too.
Yeah, that's. I guess maybe that's how the little board in the. Yeah, the on the island, it's like populated with expeditions out now. So you just get a sense of like what's going on out there.
Yeah, for now in the frame of this, basically, yeah, because we don't know that the island exists with this model. You just know that you have a ship, you have a crew, you're on the latency, and you're going exploring. So, yeah. So you choose an expedition, and then you set off basically. So gonna need a ship, gonna need a crew.
Yeah, it's a ship manifest.
That's the name.
Yeah, it like documents everything. Passengers, cargo if you have it.
Probably equipment. Too.
Yeah. So the move from, well, this one, I don't know how we're feeling about this. What needs to be on here, or so ship.
Well, is this like as you scroll, it's zooming out or no?
I mean, so we need to move from ship interior where there's a crew, and then the next mentality is that you know you need to choose a destination or expedition, right? Which is,
Yeah, because this is more explore. No?
I mean, that's the
Well, I think
same
these
thing.
these little X markers are like potential destinations, which are kind of like the different expeditions, but they all have different routes and like distances and
Yeah, so you're like your expedition is like I mean, we have to sort of more tightly couple the explanation here, I think, of what we're getting across, and then we're dropping them into like this let's explore thing, which is like getting across the idea of the multi-perspectival stuff coming together into a zine. So how do we set up the expedition, I guess, is where we're at. So I just tossed out this like choose your expedition thing, but I think we need to work this one. So we have a couple options here. We have you are zooming back out, like we've zoomed into the ship. See, the ship has an intelligence, the ship has a crew. Now, like where ship plus crew, we have like conditioned, and then like we need to put ship plus crew into expedition. So like, yeah, that we're doing setup here. So
Yeah, you're kind of coming back to this one here with just the ship maybe, but with the crew on it.
Mm,
So
well, we
it's a
have that
ship.
in the second. We have ships are sentient partners.
Yeah, but we haven't
Ships
had
need a
the,
crew.
that's inside the ship. So I'm just saying if you wanted to transition out again, you could come back to the ship like on the horizon, but now
maybe
with people. And like that could then zoom out if you're looking for a transition.
I wonder if that could be signified by this little manifesto
Yeah, I
thing
think that's
on that
possible.
screen. So now it's all green with the crew.
Yeah, so this would be all green, and then like I don't know, the expedition.
There's like a meter or
Yeah, this is-
something?
This is just like
That's what-
the minimum requirement for ship plus crew to go on an expedition is kind of what we're getting across here. And then once you have the crew and you have the crew and the ship, you need to boot up an expedition. Like the crew and the ship need to go, they need to do something,
Okay,
right?
so is this in a different frame or is it in this frame? That's, okay, so this is just the crew. Got it.
It's not very developed is what, like, I just have this vision of like, you've got the ship as like a slot. It's like a crew manifest, I guess, in this sense. And then you have a bunch of slots for crew members. Then you fill in those crew members. They're checked off, and then the thing is ready for operation. Like sort of. And then if ready for operation, then
Choose expedition.
yes.
What's the transition? I'm curious about the transition from this being inside the ship. Like, how do you move out on? Yeah, so we're trying to figure out where we're situating this thing. The expedition.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out here. Like we have to.
Yeah. Is it a list like that? I mean, this is where you could have people.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kristen's on something. The screen, I think instead of the list being in the same screen as indoors switches to the list. The list changes you to a different, like it just consumes a view with the ISO, and then you can switch to whatever you need to next. Like I think the little list is its own slide between these two.
Okay.
Like this slide, I think, is a two-step animation. It's one with the inside room with the crew, and then it's replaced by a checklist. I'll mock that.
Okay. Yeah, and then so checklist of people, and then at the bottom, like awaiting expedition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a loading kind of thing. So it's like a precursor to preparing for expedition.
I mean, it's effectively an expedition select screen. And like we could do a like level blah blah blah, like like what would that select screen look like really quickly? And then
Yeah,
it's like boop, and then you're out on the expedition.
Yeah.
So
So could we show a list of potential expeditions like with interesting names? And then like
yeah, this is the select screen. So
yeah, that's what I would envision. Like it's the ship interface. This is also ship interface too. The crew, like check, right? That could be a way of.
yeah, we could put this
cool.
in
It's cute
so
and
pixel
crude.
design on the screen. You got that, Jordan? Yeah.
Yeah, I was doing it in Procreate, but I can just do it in Excalidraw. I think it's just
No, like just the felt sense of it, I guess. Like, so instead, you like zoom into the table or you zoom into the screen or something.
Yeah, one of those things. Yeah, totally. Yeah, or it just
and then you're in the UI.
I think we can be cruder in that. We show a small version of the UI on the screen, and then just the actual slides out from the bottom. It doesn't actually have to be a three-dimensional transition, right?
No, I think
Like,
we
can do something
just
clever.
getting them onto the thing. They'll get the idea, right? Like
totally. Yeah. Totally.
Okay.
Get that.
So this is like first appearance of Dialogue OS or whatever.
Oh, hell yes. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So ready to start designing that. Thank you for bringing that up.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah, there's a couple like
we just have to narrow down what we're actually putting on that screen. because there's a lot that we can do.
Yeah.
There. So
I'm gonna keep doing that. Whoa.
yeah, how do we present that? That's a little UI, damn it, that we can do.
Yep.
Yeah, we have
Everybody
let's start with
code.
there'll have to be
Hmm.
some amount of functionality. So if the expeditions are packages, I'm thinking tiles. If it's like, this could be a map UI too, right? Like, which region are you going to?
Mm.
Like if you do
Yeah,
a
this
fog
is-
of war style grid, where it's like this cell's explored, which ones you want to go to, and they have like little symbols on them for types. We could do.
Mhm. All
There's
right,
some,
so we get like, all right, let's talk about like space that we have to explain, and then like sort of retrofit the graphic to the space time, because
Yeah, I
like
mean,
we're yeah, go ahead.
we're getting into the game a little bit, so it's like, yeah, it's like, what is, I mean, I think we can totally do this right now too, and that is, what's a good UI for mountain expedition? I mean, a list, it works, like little cells work, but I think it's more interesting to figure out, like, is it a grid, is it a map? I don't know, that seems
Yeah, so
like, how yeah, sorry, go for it.
yeah, no, so we're trying to get across, like there's an opportunity to get across in language what the expeditions are. This is why a list might be good, like level 2
Yeah.
reflection, like you know, level 3, if we can come up with names for those kinds of things. And in
Yeah.
the process of like there's an animation where there's like a hovering over the list, and then that maybe changes like a map kind of thing,
Right.
that shows like the ship,
Oh, yeah,
and then hexagons or whatever it is, like as a layout.
Mhm.
And like this one goes this way, this one goes that way, and maybe there's like a monster or something in it, or
Yeah,
like a
right.
danger meter or something, you know, something
Yeah.
like this.
A rating,
Because then we could
star
scroll
rating or
through
something.
it, and the scrolling moves the cursor, and the cursor changes the display, and then we leave that screen, like on a scroll, you just it clicks it and it moves it through, and then the screen moves out, and we're in the expedition.
Yeah,
So it's a map, and there's locations on the map, and like maybe we could do like close ones, and it hovers over them, and it's the description, and it shows like a little path, and it's happy, and there's low requirements, but like far away places,
Yeah.
maybe reflect that as, and that's where you see like monsters on the path or whatever.
right.
Yeah. So we'll have to cartoonize it pretty heavily, because
Yeah.
it's just like zip, 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 and like it's going pretty fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, that there's some choreography in there. Like it's like figuring out how to compress that's going to be a little bit. Yeah. A lot of motion design here.
I'm hoping. Well, I mean, if it's all within this OS, then I'm kind of hoping it's like just the same graphic with like 6 states, and then just a cool bouncing cursor, like a little hand or a little anchor or whatever we decide the OS cursor is, right?
Mm-hmm,
I think it can be. I think it can be that simple. Like the animation can literally just be a hovering cursor. We change its position as we swap the background image. I don't know. Like that's.
Yeah, like it basically over the time of the scroll, like so it scrolls X amount of space, like the cursor movement is just an object, will be mapped to the scrolling distance, and then like you know, given distance to
Oh, you want to go that
to
fancy? I was even thinking
XY.
that.
That's
cool.
I mean, yeah, it depends on how
'Cause, like-
tethered we are to the scroll, because we could do all of this with scroll choreography.
Yeah, I mean, totally. I mean, I don't like. I think you're totally right. But I mean, I do like. I was thinking like for a shortcut to get us to MVP or whatever. I know
Mhm.
that like most most select screens, like the one Kristen's posting, are considering a cross pad controller. So it's like you just go left, right, and it cycles through the positions. You don't actually go, I want, you know what I mean? Like that the behavior is primitive in an interesting way that allows it, and it's not that confusing. It works fine. Where you just basically get like next.
Oh,
and
you
the cursor.
so select, and then press X or whatever. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That works too. Yeah.
I mean,
Yep.
tracking a cursor for like an OS like that sounds fun. It just sounds like, I don't know, just as like, well, we can see when we get there, see how difficult it is. If it's easy, we should do that though.
I mean, the way you're describing is it's time and highlight. So like it's we don't have to track any like visual
Positioning.
stuff. So yeah. Okay. All right. So we basically, from interior ship, we zoom into select your challenge.
So we're zooming in farther, like into the computer.
Effectively, like, so
that's
on the
cool.
wall, there's like face. It could be, I mean, we don't even need to do a zoom here. It could just drop in, and then like,
and
it shows
I
that,
think it could be cute to show a miniature version, like the face changes to this UI, like a miniature version of the UI, and then like a real version pops up over the whole thing. I think that could be cute.
yeah, like yeah. I do like the idea.
The face changes to this UI, and then also that UI just slides up and takes over the view.
Yeah. So like, and then we have the crew is ready, and if the crew is ready, then the expeditions are available. Select an expedition, click, and then like it shoots out, and then we're in some other screen now. Like we're off to explore it.
Man, we got a little game going. I like this. This is great. Like I'm seeing the list slowly like blink in, and then it's like ready for expedition, and then it's select screen. Ooh, man, this is getting good. We're getting real.
I mean,
We're making a game.
Oh, I love it.
like making a storyboard for a game.
This is all in service of making the game.
Yep. Yeah, it's just so what artifacts do we need here to like better help build this stuff out? Like in like, what do you need, Jordan, if you're gonna mock this up?
I think just continuing to add in detail is fine. The way you guys are doing,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
I guess a prioritization list of like what, I don't know, maybe that's a separate discussion outside of this architecture, but it's like, I don't know. Like I need to figure out a little bit of process. I still want to like explore style a little more.
Sure.
Color palette would be nice to nail a little earlier.
Yep.
I'm
happy to work with any of that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I was gonna say if
you.
you want to break out maybe at some point today or this week and just do like a quick bullet point list of all this, identify the shit, maybe the rough prioritization.
Okay. Yeah, I think for now, like, so yeah, let's.
Yeah, I think we stay high level and we get all the beats hit.
Yep.
And then we're gonna be iterating and going through it and adding like as much detail as is necessary to get to the next step. And like I think the next step is, it feels like, is the artifacts, like visual.
Yeah, we're gonna
go
craft
and then
the
how
whole
do you
thing. So
yeah.
But I mean, during that, I think there's a fine parallel miniature with just like way Dave found some really great type to do some small like palettes, like exploration stuff too, right?
Yep. Like I think that stuff is just it's a good keeping our brain warm so that this stuff, we can loop it back in. Yeah, so the hope for the storyboards is that generally everything we need is in place so that when we start pushing this thing together, we're not having to make any top level decisions once we're in crafting. There'll be stuff that changes, but yeah. Okay. Also, there's a lot of interfaces, so I want to make sure that we have like guidance when we pop the things open and we don't have to rebuild it in our heads every time. So
Dude, we're gonna treat this OS like a real one, man. I'm so excited. I'm gonna bring in so much
All right.
bullshit process. You guys just strap in, man. This is gonna fucking
all right, I'm following your lead on that then. Okay. Like,
well, I mean, you're art directing, buddy. I'm just building the damn thing with you. So this is gonna be. I've been waiting for this shit. I've been waiting.
all right.
But that's for later. Let's get this dude. Let's
It's
do
just
this. That's for later. That's for later.
All right. So, okay. Select the expedition. All right. Ship means a crew. We got a crew. Cool. Let's choose an expedition. What? No. Choose your poison. All right. So dialogue OS. X. This is probably just going to be. All right, so what are we doing here? Zooms in, shows the crew is ready. How much do we need to show that?
Like there's a weird lag going on.
You felt it too.
Yeah, I was wondering if I should refresh. I can try. You're like saying things and your cursor's doing something else because I think there's a lag. Whoa, what?
Yeah, mine just refreshed like that too.
And it went blank. Let's see.
It loads in. It just takes a little while.
Whoa.
I see.
It's the one thing I don't like about these canvases. When I get lost on the canvas, I don't know how to recenter.
Set your zoom to like 45 or something instead of, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Zoom out and zoom back in.
Thought I was zooming out, but I was zooming in. Go figure.
That'll get you. All right. Zoom into the thing. It shows the crew is ready, and then somehow the expedition thing pops up. I don't know that we need. I mean, this is all just one. All right,
Yeah.
so
One
something's
with-
going to happen on this screen.
One with two parts.
Yeah. Well, doing weird shit. Yeah, I mean, there's going to be a few things that happen in there. Jordan and I will have to sort of work that out. We may need specific content. So, okay, and then
You pick an expedition.
pick an expedition, then it drops you into something. How are
I
we
think-
kicking it off? Like, where are we going from here?
I think something in here where you can see your route then on the ocean, like maybe there, like it's a call out onto the sea. So you can see that you're about to go out on the sea and then you're picking up pieces. I think that works from there.
Hmm.
All right, so
You
you
kind of like a path between
Yeah, you
them.
could, not necessarily, sure. But here, like, you could see your path set out before you picking anything up, like
gotcha.
you're about to, so this would be more of let's explore. And this would be like select or whatever. Capture.
So what are you saying? What would we say in Let's Explore?
Like
So-
hit the open sea.
all right, so the dialogue OS is you've chosen your expedition, and then like basically it's going to be, oh my God.
It's like now you're on your expedition, but like I guess is there something we can say between now you're on your expedition and on your expedition your crew plays games to capture their unique perspectives, or well, that's what we say in capture.
Could do these two together. Like, what if you had a thing?
Crazy lag right now.
I don't know what happened.
We pushed it to the limit.
Sounds very
This thing is
possible.
acting insane. I was looking at a completely different Excalidraw than you guys. I'm like, what? And then I refreshed, and then it all came back. But like, Kristen was still in the space I was in, so I'm like, it's fine. I'm like,
It's not fine.
I need
What's
to rebuild.
happening?
I was tripping.
To
This,
rebuild
Sam,
this.
someone needs to kick the server at
FigJam.
Amazon for this thing.
How do you draw? What's the draw tool? This.
7.
You wouldn't need this then.
Yeah, I see what you mean about collapsing those two into one.
Yeah, you
Oh,
don't
so
necessarily
you're
need
kinda-
this, but you can see the pieces here and then I don't know if that's too big of a jump. So this would be,
So, all right, we're in the phase where you choose the expedition, and then we're in the like
then you're in the expedition.
encounter, and you know that you're on the game, yeah. So, because as soon as you hit like go effectively or start, it's going to move you into something like, you know, this is the representation of the expedition.
Yeah, I mean, in real life, what you get is you start getting prompts, right? For like, you're gonna get your first prompt. Because that's how you would start an like that's always how it starts. So I don't know if we want to get into that, but I mean, you could also,
Maybe the expedition selection screen could also say like, as you're hovering over specific expeditions, like 4 text prompts, 1 like link find, 1 draw a picture or something. Like, what are the different actions that it'll be prompting you to do?
Error, couldn't save to the backend database. The canvas seems to be too big. Save the file
right.
locally. What do we do? I mean,
Let's save the
We have to
file
leave.
locally.
Abandon ship.
export image, save to disk.
Yeah, I think
Export the scene.
what we could do is delete like the right
Yeah.
side of this canvas.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah,
saved.
let's pull a bunch of this shit out of it and then
So
have
you
it saved and then Excalidraw does not work with our
Our
exuberance.
sprawl. Yeah.
hmm We need a $20 billion company to manage our flourishing minds.
All right. I think I've saved locally. I'm just gonna double check.
Time for a
that's
3-dimensional
there.
canvas. We need the space.
Mhm. Yeah.
If you've
I got
saved
enough
it, I think you should delete it. Just to,
I got the. I want to make sure it opens though. So let's see. Why is it going into the same room? Max, can you
it
just
auto completed. Just go to
file?
Excalidraw.
You can't open a new one?
No, so open a new tab
Yeah.
and then just go to excalidraw.com, but make sure you don't get auto completed to the same room.
Yeah.
So yeah, clear that. Yeah. And now
Oh,
you
funny.
can open.
Now let's try opening just to make sure. All right. Yeah, we're good. I've
So
got
go to the shared room and then delete the stuff on the right.
all of it, doodles and all.
Yeah. I think
Maybe it's the
I
images.
think so.
Also get rid of these because maybe it doesn't like these. Shh. All right, let's see. Do you like us better now? This is barely anything. Excalidraw. No. All right, let's see. No, it doesn't like this. Let's try
Ooh.
closing Chrome. Is anyone else getting that or just me?
let's see. Mine is still.
Mine's pretty
Let
chaotic.
me try to delete it. Delete the stuff on the right. See what happens.
Oh, did it not delete even?
No, because maybe you just got into a weird state or something. But
Yeah,
I'm
feedback
deleting.
loop
Yeah.
somewhere.
Also, if they're keeping a undo history, like not locally, then I don't know how far back they store that, but it'll all still be in there for a while. Depends on,
Okay, so
I don't know how they're.
I deleted. Yeah, I was able to delete it successfully, and it seems like it saved to the back end. So you probably just need to refresh the page, and it should be okay now.
I closed out Chrome and then came back in. Let's see.
Tony, is that for the same room or a new URL?
The same
Same
room.
room.
Got it.
It's all there. See if that helps. All right, so on a typical adventure, what would happen after or expedition after you
Let's see.
select? Are we good?
No, the stuff came back somehow.
I deleted it again,
What?
but I'm not getting any error messages. I think we're okay. I deleted and refreshing and it's not showing up again. How would I test otherwise? close out, come back in?
I don't know.
Let's try.
Just refreshed. All the stuff is gone except for
Yeah,
what we want.
I think it's gone.
Okay, cool.
Like, this is what the course would look like to me. Mining game, mini game. Weird. I don't have to do something like that, but that would be the visual of what's happening. You could zoom into that, and each mini game has each person having their own perspective too, which is a piece of the whole. So like, what level do we want to show here? And then how do we get across, or yeah, to what level of detail do we want to get into? You're going to have a lot of mini games that make up the expedition. Like, is that important?
I think it's fair. This is a place we can just wave our hands however much we want to, right?
Like how it
So
exactly
I
works?
say, yeah, I think this is good.
Coming in here.
So I'm just saying for stretch goal, if we could figure it out to make it so every time we show one of these little zine shards or whatever they're called, we somehow make them holographic. So like as you move your cursor around the site, they like shift in parallax. Or if you're doing it on a phone, as you move the phone, they shift in parallax. Stretch goal, obviously, but
Would be nice.
it would be nice.
Possible. It's being weird.
What?
None of your changes are showing up for me.
Same.
Excalidraw sucks.
Are you in a room by yourself? I think.
Mine just refreshed.
Weird, but
Oh yeah, you're not in a room with anyone. You're all by yourself.
how though? But it's in it
You get
attached
loaded
to
up your file or something. So you need to go to
Yeah.
the
You want it-
URL.
Let me copy this.
Yeah, repost the URL. Is it different now?
How do I get back to that room?
I don't know. Now I got put in a room where there's no content. Oh, never mind. I found it.
We have it in the.
Here, I'll paste the room in
Yep.
Zoom. Oh, John already did it, or Dave did.
Well, we found the edge of the ability of Excalidraw.
Well, at least it's.
All right, there you are.
Let's see if this will
Right.
work.
Okay, I see
Right.
Kristen in here.
Now
Oh,
we're
back
cooking
on
with
track.
gas.
Damn it. Oh, now I can control Z. Well, that's nice.
Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I wouldn't rely on it.
Why is their shit so janky?
I mean,
I know it's hard to make software, I understand. Still, I have needs.
it's reasonable.
Parallax? I don't know how to spell that. Parallax?
2 L's.
Okay. So
All right. I
how
think
do
we
we
need to
want
boot
to
it
get
up
a
again. So we select the select the expedition. That screen probably flies out or something.
fly out?
And then we're like, maybe, I don't know. Like we have to
Sure.
figure out like transition into some other screen showing that I mean, is this a map of this expedition? Like what are we showing here?
So
like
this here is the expedition itself and how it like forms. And part of the expedition is that you're playing mini games and collecting information along the way. How we show that, I'm not,
yeah.
I'm just putting this out because like this is the construct of the overall. I mean, it's a take on this, but showing that you're going to pick up pieces along the way and that these pieces get pulled into a whole. And there's a couple levels because each game creates a piece to a bigger whole, but each one of the games, like you could zoom in, it's a fractal because each person is bringing a piece. So what is important to show? Is it that individuals are each bringing their individual piece, that each game, like, do we have to get into the mini game? Like, how do we do that?
We are trying to show that over the course of an expedition, individual perspectives are collected and then combined into a ship-based perspective. So,
Yes.
all right.
So how do we show, how do you collapse? Yeah, this is a hard one to collapse the gameplay. I mean, I guess you could have a bunch of people around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't need to show the gameplay, like, because we're already saying like that's what's happening.
Yeah.
It's more so. I do think it would be cool to show like the journey of the expedition and the perspective pieces getting created or found or discovered or whatever we're calling that.
Okay, so like there's I mean, we could continue with the like sort of
We're screwed again.
Can we move this to FigJam somehow?
We can export as one giant PNG and then draw on top of it, but we won't be able to move around the individual things. Unfortunately.
I think that might be.
That's our
I
cue.
think that's
Best
probably our
move.
best bet. Uh-oh. All right. Well, Excalidraw is done. No longer.
It's a shame because like I think the comic bookness of it feels so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and
good out.
It's good for small form doodling, but storyboarding an entire concept, not so good.
Yeah.
Nope.
should we try to do
Although
it frame by frame for our own sanity? Can we do
That
that?
might be a good idea.
At least
Yeah. I'll
like this
here, I
kind of
guess
thing.
if we can get, is anyone making the
Copy.
FigJam itself? I can start at the bottom.
We could start a new FigJam for this actually. Might be nice.
Yeah,
I think it's a good
I feel
idea.
ready.
Yeah. You're doing that, Tony?
Yeah. Go. File. There. Copy link. Link shared.
Okay.
I'm surprised by that. It doesn't seem like we had a lot of,
I think we just broke it. We got it in some weird state, and
Yep.
like maybe it's possible to like clear like the cache, and that would save things. But
can you change me to edit privileges,
sorry.
permissionings? No problem.
Oh, hold on. Anyone with the link? Oh, to add editors, first move this file from drafts into a project. Oh my god.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
And then they're like, you have too many files
Yeah.
and projects. You're gonna
Gotta
pay.
buy an upgrade.
You're like, no, I'm not. Watch this. This one that I haven't used in a few months, removing it from shared. That'll show you, Figma. They're really hurting for my individual dollar.
Leading them dry.
I have to hold H for high five. Okay. H. Big Eds.
Okay, I'm guessing you guys can't edit yet, and I don't know why this is so annoying to. The share button isn't even working.
Nah, I can't yet.
Okay, approve.
Hey,
Approve.
now I can't. Although, wait, asking me to edit or to move to a project for a second here.
All right, supposedly I should be able to.
Our ship
Okay.
is broken. Oh,
It's
I can edit.
broken.
I had to
Okay, you can
refresh.
edit. All right.
How did you refresh? Is
Oh,
there
man.
specific? Let's see.
Nah, just like at the tab level, the browser level.
Oh yeah, you work in browser. That's so odd to me. I try to do it in the app.
Oh, yep, I figured.
Yeah, so you can just highlight things and then. Oh, fuck you, Excalidraw. It's not gonna let me do this. All right, pulling stuff in from the top.
I'm just gonna start in the middle and working my way down.
Okay.
Starting from the bottom.
I'm gonna have a hard time doing this because it keeps booting me up. But I'll do what I can.
Okay.
Whoa. There's all the vector paths for a bunch of lines. Right, ships need a crew. That's why FigJam or Figma is worth billions of dollars. So
Correct code.
you can have a bunch of people beavering away like insane people.
Mhm.
And indulges insanity.
Okay, that's all of them.
Cool. I'm gonna pull this one in too. I will close this. Done. Okay. Oh, I missed a ship. All right. So where were we? Yeah. So we want to show individuals who each have a piece of the zine or a piece of the game, a piece of the zine. I think we can sort of collapse that. Like, do we, so effectively a way that I see it. Oh, okay, let's see. Can we just, everything's sensitive in a different way in this app. So these two are kind of getting at the same thing at the same level.
Yeah.
There's probably a way of collapsing that. So if we're
Yeah,
going
so-
from interface, like we've been out on the sea with the ship, we went into the ship, we're zooming in more, we got into the interface, and then do we want that we're moving out again? Should we move out slowly so we start with like people on the ship doing like
No, I think that level of fidelity is going to be hard to represent in the site.
Okay.
I think, because like you don't have that much room to sort of
sure.
people are doing this. You need to sort of yeah. So
Tony's got
we're,
something there. Tony's got the story.
okay.
On your
On your
expedition, you'll
expedition, you'll collect and collapse perspectives. Okay. So maybe instead of sense, you're collecting perspectives.
You make
Yeah,
sense through
Yeah,
perspectival participatory.
Yeah, but for shorthanding.
I mean, I think sense sounds better. Like just collect sense, make sense or whatever. But I do think saying perspectives makes more sense.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we can play with that. So up here, there's valuable perspective to be found here, and you can't find it alone.
My eye's twitching less, I'll have everybody know.
About time.
Dude.
Since you quit caffeine.
No, the last few
Oh.
days, my eye's been twitching. I don't know if it's been being on a computer a bunch, but Brendan taught me that your eyes have muscles like everything else. So
A spasm.
like doing back and forth tracking, like as
Oh.
fast as you can while keeping like it as a discrete motion back and forth, up and down.
Hmm.
I started doing this while talking
can
to
see that.
Dave, and he's like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Okay, you can't do it while talking to people." And then also staring out into the distance. So
Yeah.
I'm practicing
about
doing
that.
that. So
I
I
heard-
don't like, yeah. And every time I start to feel my eye do it, that's why I keep like, all right, just take a break.
Mm,
Doesn't like it.
yeah. I heard it was like 30 seconds looking at something 30 feet away every 30 minutes or something. As like a nice,
Oh, that's a good rule. I like that.
rememberable.
That's good.
30-30 vision.
How you get it? Secret unlock.
Okay, so on your expedition, you'll collect and collapse perspectives through games. Expedition, go. All right. What collect perspectives, collapse perspectives. Out is collecting, back is collapsing.
Yeah, and we
Discover.
have collapse later because we have like the weaver, because that's the collapse part.
Like, are you collecting perspectives or discovering perspectives? You're like on the journey.
So in the case of, I mean, I think we can play with either. Like, so we're trying to get the little chunks like into the graphic somehow. So like sort of representing the pieces so that we can weave them in the next like slide. So the goal here is somehow like, I believe, like visualizing or storytelling the expedition, collecting these pieces, and the pieces representing, I mean, we could do like, if we have above, we have like a visual language for the crew members, like little avatars or something like that. Each of the perspectives can pull that to like graphical language, you know.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Right. So just have an avatar next to the perspective that gives you the idea, and then we can collapse them all. Okay. So now we just need now we just need to figure out how we're going to get the shards on the screen and how they relate to the ship moving through an area or something like this. Yeah, I have like a, if we stay on the screen
The OS.
here, yeah, you have like maybe a left panel. It's like in sort of the more pixely style, whatever. It's gameplay effectively, but like I don't know, it would be like a world map or a expedition map or something on the left, and then like some like progress stuff on the right, maybe.
Yeah. I think it could be like two. Yeah, I get where you're going with this. It's kind of like
Inventory.
a two-phase thing. It's like, yeah, we establish you're ready for going on expedition. Then it's like, here's the expedition game screen, navigation, and there's basically what Kristen's drawing, except it's just in the game screen, right? Little dots that you're gonna like on a path and things you can branch out to explore, something like that. And then maybe the same way we move through the West, we move through that and say you'll collect perspectives as you do this path.
Yeah, so there it's kind of like a, you know, I mean you had some of the map structure. I mean, it's like a Mario map or something like this, and
Yeah.
each dot is like but ours is an
Level,
encounter or something.
Yeah.
And so and then as if the ship moves through in this little like, you know, sort of condensed pixel way, it moves across the thing and uh traces a path, and then in the right hand column you can have an inventory that these are where the perspectives are being collected, maybe.
Yeah, I see it as like almost like, yeah, a 2-panel thing where it's like there's the thing and the readout as it's moving, like describing or
Yeah.
showing stats or something. Yeah.
We might be able to bring back that like horizontal timeline effectively of the at the bottom, but it may be more than we need. So yeah, I think
You
here.
want to make some notes about what you just said? Because I heard one thing, and that was that. Mm.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh shit, I gotta run in 5 minutes.
Each pivot is a game. Yeah, I do. An electric eel. Ethereum. You can find Ethereum in there.
Bounties.
So is this a blow up of one of the dots? No.
You have an encounter at a dot, and this maybe collects perspectives. I don't know. We have to like sort of
Yeah,
think
yeah.
about it. But these are the shards. This is whose perspective it is. This is something I don't know what.
Where did you pick up encounter? Like encounter versus game. Just in universe, like when you're worlding, like
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah. Like so in a like a role playing game or whatever, you encounter a slime, like you know, like that's the game.
That's
like
interesting. Yep.
rather than like now we're going to play you already are playing a game. Like what happens within the game is an encounter. Like so this is the but therefore within a game logic. There's a point of friction, you know, skills need to be expressed, and then something comes of that. You get loot or booty or experience, or in our case, perspective.
What's a good verb instead of collect for perspectives? And I don't mean to replace collects in the sense of it shouldn't be synonymous with collect. It's more of a like refine or distill or because there's also going to be a little bit of like
no. Jordan had discover. Yeah, I mean, on your expedition, you'll discover perspectives through game encounters, I think works.
Or
Yeah,
because
I think the collection of perspectives too, for me, it feels kind of like an inventory, like in a game.
Yeah.
that's what we were, yes.
Yeah, I feel that. I like the UI as pixely. I hope we go that way
Mm,
as of now. It feels right.
hard lo-fi.
We've been talking about it. We need to hire Pixar to do this.
Just quick outsource to Pixar.
Hey, you guys got a few free cycles? Boy, do we have an idea for you.
I've been casually tracking artists that I think are interesting in the vein we're heading down. There's some out there.
Nice.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll throw money at it.
I would too, man.
For
I was
sure.
like, I might hit a threshold. I'm like, I'll get it this far, then hand it off to this guy. Because I mean, the more we do to get it like polished, the
Yep.
cheaper it is for them to come in and just redo it, right? So
Totally.
I think we're on the
I
right
mean-
path. That I could definitely see a threshold where it's like, I'll drop 10 grand to get these all fucking.
I mean, it's
super
worth it,
crazy
'cause-
polished.
Getting us to a place where we can actually build the damn thing, like versus just.
It'll be an
sprucing up the
incredible
idea,
portfolio
but-
piece for forever too. Like I want something really fucking incredible to come out of this.
Yeah.
We'll get there one way or another. Yeah.
Okay, so during expedition, you'll discover perspectives through game encounters. So that's the discover phase, and then the weaving phase basically is the next one. So that's out. Now we need to do back effectively.
Hmm.
What is that? What is the back? What does the weaving interface look like? You got a big inventory and you need to like do something with it.
It's crafting. I need to go with the game terminology.
Mm-hmm.
There would be the ship then uses the collected perspectives and crafts a zine.
I'm open to this being symbolic versus UI.
Sure.
Bunch of weird, cool components, lamps, trees, couches, computers, and then like whatever, and then like an object, whatever it turns into. Making a crafting. I don't know. Or we can do a crafting UI. I don't know. That one feels a little harder to someone just get initially understand versus like just more of like an equation or like a.
Yeah.
I'm throwing it out there.
Well, either way, I think that we need like we have this like primitive design language that John sort of cobbled together, the like triangles with like a piece of the perspective in it, right? And so I think whatever like display we do has those. We can do the avatars next to them somehow. And then in this screen, we are combining them. Like we are selecting and pruning and combining into like some, like combinatorial perspective.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, we could, in the game interface sense, we could rather than it being like gameplay, we just take the like sort of pixelized perspective language and then do a graphic from that like here we've got all these perspectives and then arrow through the ship and then ship yarfs out
that was
perspective.
right. I thought that
yes.
might be easier to parse really quickly if it's in a scroll mechanism. It might be a little easier to parse than actually like a
I
fleshed
think
out.
we imagine it then in a cutscene style in like the game though.
Okay, yeah, that works.
For now. I
Oh
mean,
shit, I gotta go. Damn it, I'm late.
Cool.
Sorry guys. I'll catch up with you guys later. Whatever, you guys got this. Don't even make a time capsule. I'm sure it'll be perfect. I'll talk to you later.
All right, talk to you later.
But
Later.
yeah, so ship in between those.
Yeah, same idea.
Something like that, yeah.
That's good. Print it out.
Why does that kind of work?
Because it's a zine, you're printing it. Um, wait, you're saying put the ship between it, Dave?
I mean, the ship is the printer, so yeah, but yes. I mean, some of the stuff that I think, Tony, as you explore these perspectives, the ship weaves them together into one that makes sense to your crew. We call that a zine. So, I mean, that's where we. Yeah, there's like a little assembly line kind of thing here we can do where it's like X, check, and then it builds in, and makes the multi-perspectival thing on the right.
Are you drawing that somewhere? Say, I don't follow.
I am.
Yeah.
Well, each one needs to go
Mm,
moved through the thing somehow.
so it's like a maze.
It's just being processed. So, like, you could have the ship there, and it's moving the perspectives through the ship, and yeah, these were all. Yeah. I need to work with that some.
Let me do it.
Yeah, so we still need the sort of message here on this one.
Yeah, what's the takeaway? Well, we had it. Oh, no.
No, I think we
Yeah,
left off
as you
where we needed.
explore these perspectives, the ship weaves them together into one that makes sense to you and your crew here.
Yeah, that's fine. That one's for crafting a zine weaver.
Oh, yeah. You're trying to get for the zines one.
Yeah, now we move from zine weaving to
This is hypermedia objects that make sense. Compression of shared understanding.
so we're using sort of perspective as the thing that is being discovered and collected and compressed now. So it's
We're totally getting rid of sense.
right now we're playing with perspective. I mean, we can
Because the zines are
change.
made up of perspectives, right?
Mhm.
That makes sense.
It's just use I think those are synonymous. So like we're collecting perspective, right? We can just for the purposes of keeping it tidy for now. Like we could use sense or whatever. I mean, but we've been using perspective.
Zines are
And
hypermedia objects full of perspective with multiple perspectives, with your crew's perspectives.
so as you explore these perspectives, the ship weaves them together into one that makes sense to your crew. So we call that a zine. And then what are we getting across with the zines? Like the zines are, I mean, this is where we're headed back to common ground or whatever it is, and like trying to set up ourselves to introduce Isla Cordura. And like once you have this artifact of multi-perspectival blah blah blah, right? Like what are we doing with it, I guess, is the
Yeah.
because then we have all this down here. Yeah. Shared, so we have shared understanding forms common ground. So yeah, a bunch of zines. We just need to connect this stuff up here. All right. Perspectives go into zine.
Zines are a curation or a crafted artifact of perspectives.
Yeah. So what do you do
Hewn-
with them? How does it
hewn
relate to the
together.
expedition? Because we're on expedition
They're a
right now.
record.
It's a reflection of
expedition,
your
I put.
expedition.
Okay. So the explorer on the ship weaves them together. We call that a zine. You take the zines back to so the shared understanding forms common ground. When a bunch of zines are brought together, they form common ground. Yeah, how do we get from my brain is my transitionary brain is shutting off.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's a device, it's an artifact, so you can share with other people so they can experience like what your journey was, and so you can reflect on what your journey was. It's a
Mhm.
artifact of understanding, it's artifact of exploration from the expedition. So you don't have to tell it all. It's a
Yeah, that's what it is. In the universe, in the world, like in the I guess the story of the expedition, like you have collected your perspective, and now you want to bring it back to land to share, or you know, to combine it with others to form common ground. You know, like there's some thing there.
yeah, that's what so you share it with other people, or I mean that's the biggest point of it. It's to share with other people, and so you can regale tales of your journey.
Sure.
It's also
yes, but yeah, go ahead.
invitations for other crews to follow in the same, like the replayability aspect of it.
Yeah. So as of right now, all we have set up as an understanding that, and I could be wrong, but is latency, ship plus crew, expedition to collect perspectives,
Perspectives to craft a
to
zine.
craft a zine, which is a multi-perspectival thing, and now
Zines are used, are brought together to form common ground.
Share it.
Shared realities. That's
So
it's missing something for you.
I'm just running through it again. So like we have as you explore these perspectives, the ship weaves them together into one that makes sense for your crew. We call that a zine. When a bunch of zines are brought together, I mean, we could just drop explaining the zines. And see if it's
Yeah, I guess this part's a little bit hazy, and that's what the previous frame was
yeah. So
trying to explain.
So I think it's here. It's when your expedition ends. As the expedition comes to a close, you bring it somewhere, right? So when
Yeah,
a
well,
bunch of
this was
zines are
the
brought
garden
together,
idea.
yeah, I mean, I think we can keep that generalized and just say that like bringing it back, or
Yeah, do you log it? Like, is there something that you do? Like, again, like if you're sending your manifest in, do you also check in when you return? Like like this is the library idea. You're bringing like it's in exchange for getting a dock slip at the marina.
so this is the bookending of the island. Like if we have introduced the island before, then you can go back to the island with your zine. Otherwise, we have to explain that you were, which is possible here, like taking the zine to Isla Cordura, which, you know, we're explaining when a bunch of zines are brought together, they form a common ground, shared realities. The first of these that we found is Isla Cordura. So, you know, like that's
what?
So here,
that's what it says.
So from, like, so the we don't have anything particular about like how any of that works. It's just you bring it back. Weaver. Expedition. Yeah, we just sort of and it may be fine. We sort of drop the expedition frame in here a little bit.
Well, because the expedition is ended.
Yes, and how do we need to show that, or is it implicit? Yeah.
I mean, we could have something like the final, you could just somehow convey that a final zine artifact or whatever, the zine artifact is a signal that your mission has been completed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, it's when your expedition comes to an end. ... The ship
Mhm.
weaves them together and weaves together these your crew's perspectives into one that makes sense for you.
Yeah, as you explore these perspectives, it could be when your expedition comes to an end, the ship weaves them together. Yeah.
Weaves your
Okay, and then
weaves
Your crew's multi-perspectives, your crew's perspectives into a zine, an artifact of understanding. I don't know.
okay, then yeah, then we just when a bunch of zines are brought together, they form common ground. Yeah, we just need the beats to test the beats for this, like, because like the general, all right, and then like tie it to the visuals, which I think Jordan needs to be around when we do this, because you've got an exuberant amount of visual language here. Okay, so perspectives are collected. Lost the shipness a bit. I think the ship got lost in the perspectival collection thing here. We just need to bring back the graphic of that. Yeah. So, a bunch of scenes are brought together. They form common ground. Sure.
Yeah.
We're just like sort of expedition ends, bring the zines together, Isla Cordura. It's like, which is fine. Yeah, we may need to run this again through fresh.
yeah.
I think that makes sense. We can start here.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we're pretty close to the full cycle.
Yep.
If we have the full cycle, we get the full cycle, and then we drill down into each one to make sure we're not missing anything fundamental.
Yep.
Like the felt sense of this right now is that like we have the highest level beats of like there are these zines, they come together, Isla Cordura. Like it's there's a lot of hand waving in there still, which means that when that stuff shows up in production, we're not going to know what to do. We'll have to think about what to do, which may be fine, but yeah. We'll just have to move back and forth between them at that point. So, okay. Cool. Ship inside we've got a crew inside the ship, and then we've got the ship's internal landscape, and then we've got the expedition as the ship keeps track of it, and then the thoughts that the ship outputs from the crew's thinking, and then the shared cognition creating physical ground. Okay. Coherentizing.
I think I don't know if like this fits in there, but our little Figma unhide panel like share process is like something, and it's not necessarily something that like software would do for us. Like it's this. I get like I'm just trying to fit that into the process, and I'm wondering if that's like a step of the expedition, a step of creating the zine, which is like this final exchange or like everybody gets in the room together and it's like a recap of the expedition, or just like because a lot of the expeditions are reflections on things, but is there always like a consistent step there that's like, and then we all debrief, and together with the ship AI we have a story of our journey that we can share with the people back at land.
I think that in this handoff process to Isla Cordura, we can maybe bring that in as an element and like develop it. So like yeah, because we're missing a transition off of the ship or in onto the island or something like this. There could be the concept of a ritual or something, like when you bring, you know, because right now we have it as when a bunch of zines are brought together, which is a generalized statement. What is that bringing together? Like, is there something that we can show? Yeah, or is it just enough that we're like, bring them together, you get land, like, yeah, you know, that's what I think we poke into tomorrow. But yeah, I think that
a little bit. Just also like the fishing expeditions where they bring back the fish and they weigh them. They're just like
yeah,
you know, something around the ritual is a good word for it.
Yeah, because we have the planting, or you know, there is the like these zines are X, and you know, you bring them back, and they are the fuel that cultivates the island, right? Throw them in the volcano and it creates new, you know. Maybe there's something there. Yeah, the grow islands of understanding. So we've got this concept of zines are the materia of growth. So like, how do we transfer from the expedition the materia of growth to the island? Like, what is the shortest possible, like, you know, illusion of that, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, that's where we are.
Hard. No, it feels like we're making yeah, but and we're making a lot of progress though. I mean,
no, it's compacted
expedition level,
like
hard. Yeah,
I mean, meta expedition level, impossible. You got to explore. Yeah, I mean, if you just go scroll back through it really quickly, we've compressed a ton. Like it's not shooting us off in a million directions. Like the latter part of here, it's not as tight. We'll see tomorrow when we run it back through again, but that goes to this, goes to this, goes to that, goes to this, goes to that, goes to then it gets a little nuts. So
that's, you know, that's also like the longer term, the medium to long term part of it, like I think there is space in there for a little bit of like more hand waviness, especially if we're trying to
Totally.
attract the people that have the pieces of that with this very page. You know, maybe we say that like there's open questions here, and we
Yeah.
are seeking, like, be very literal about saying some of these expeditions need to figure out how the fuck this works.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if we get if we want to present that in this like sort of ladder process where we're like, zines create common ground, process unknown.
I mean, there could mystery is okay.
Yeah.
It's dressed up,
Life is like that. It keeps us going.
you know.
It creates intrigue. Something about the good in a through line.
Mm-hmm.
There's a word for this.
Yeah, it's just as long as the thing is encouraging people to want to come goof around with it, we're good. So
Yeah. So Sophrosine, continually tempted by the good.
yeah.
Being pulled
So
into
yeah,
it.
we're at the place where like hopefully we'll get a complete loop here. We'll feel confident with each of the beats, and then like fresh, we just run through it and feel if it's expressing everything with an eye to yeah, how much hand waving there is in the thing. So because our future selves have to handle any waves of hands that aren't
Writing some checks
like
today.
purposeful. Yeah.
Yep. Do we want to do same time tomorrow?
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Sure.
Do we want to
have
try
those
again later, or is that too
Fundraising
much?
questions too.
Yeah. How are we?
I don't know how if we really have to. We really only have to review the fundraising questions if people want to. But
We
more
probably
than
should
just-
talk about them. I mean, we could talk about them all at one time.
Okay,
Good work.
let's do that.
Just share them, and then next week have like a session where we, yeah.
Same time tomorrow works better for me than we call it on Mountain. Want to do, but after that, I'm good as well. And then we have a squawk later too.
Sorry, Dropbox was yelling at me about some nonsense. So what did we say about the questions?
Answer
We're
them
not
and share
reviewing
them.
just
Yeah, but we're not going to talk about them until all the questions are answered.
Ah, okay.
Do we want to black box them?
It'd be fun.
Put them. Sure. I think that's good.
So create a thread in Discord and just share them there.
Spoiler
For
tag.
now?
Yep.
Okay.
Uh-huh. As for coming back today, I don't think so. We've got a few calls and then
All right. So I think tomorrow same time is the only thing. I mean, we could do afternoon and no squawk tomorrow.
don't do either.
Is earlier better for any reason?
I mean, I mean, either way, like this stuff is pretty like energy intense. So I don't know if we would be better in the afternoon if like we're in a different mindset, but we kind of have to drop into it and
Yep.
like open up the world. So if we are tired, you know,
It's not
it's hard
as-
enough. So
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
agreed.
Let's stay 11, 10, 9. And John, you have a noon or a
Just
1?
1 p.m. Mountain.
Okay,
So I think we'll be good by then.
cool. Perfect.
Yeah, the schedule's not
Pretty
great
close.
for my cocaine habit, but
But you'll make it work.
Mhm.
Well, then you need to start doing it seriously earlier.
yeah.
Exactly. Getting up at 3 p.m.
Wake up at 3, yeah.
Ugh.